Well, hello and welcome to today's Converged Communications Customer Hub, everyone. We are doing an advanced module today. My name is Sarah Rice, and I'm on the Converged Communication Tech Strategy team here at Microsoft, and I'll be your host today. If we've met before, welcome back. And if this is your first time joining one of our customer hubs, from all of us here, I want to extend a very warm welcome to you. Today, as you can guess from our title slide here, we will focus our time together on the very popular topic of Teams Premium, where we hope you'll be able to take your meeting or your webinars or your appointments or your large-scale events to the next level. Before we get started today, I do have a couple of pieces of information that I would like to share with you today. So as we meet with customers through these types of events, we want to make sure that we're creating this sense of community and to provide you with a place where you can go after we're done with our presentations, that you can continue the conversations and get your questions answered. And to that end, we want to make sure that you're all aware of this Modern Work Superheroes community. This community is a really great way to stay connected to other folks who have similar interests in hybrid work. It's really easy to join and takes just a couple of steps. The first thing I want to just make sure you're aware of is we need your consent to join. So Microsoft takes privacy very, very seriously. So we'll start by having you fill in this quick form to provide your consent. And once our team gets your consent, then we'll take the necessary steps to give you access to the community. It should take only 1 or 2 business days to make this happen. It'll be through this community where you can get the deck from today's session. You'll find it under the files section in the community. And if you're interested in accessing today's recording, that's going to be posted to our publicly accessible Superheroes YouTube channel. And we'll share all of these links that you see on the screen, which are clickable, by the way, in the chat pane as well. And we'll also reiterate all these details again towards the end of today's session, just in case you missed any of the information as I've gone through it just now. So don't fret, we'll reiterate all of these details again at the end of the session. Let's get to the good stuff today. I am joined today by my good friend, Jim Garland. Jim and I actually used to be teammates a while back, where he actually schooled me in all things broadcast quality, advanced event production using Microsoft Teams. And when Jim isn't spending his time finding the gnarliest mountain biking terrain he can or shredding on his guitars, he uses his 30 years of industry experience in broadcast and live streaming to help Microsoft's customers create their own unique television broadcast quality Teams events. And he's going to spend the next 90 or so minutes talking about Teams Premium and how it can be used to make your appointments, webinars, and large-scale events really engaging. He'll dive into an overview of capabilities and even do some live demos today of key features. And at the end of our session, he's going to leave us with a clear path to start your very own Teams Premium journey. We're also joined by a couple of folks today from our marketing team, Ronit Ben-Sheffer and John Gruszczyk, along with a small army of subject matter experts in the background, like I mentioned, who will be answering your text questions as we move through today's session. So Jim, I'm going to hand things off to you to take us through the rest of today's sessions. The floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And if I could just get a thumbs up that everybody can see my content. Sarah, I just want to highlight that those mountain bikes, actually are seeing more time in my office than they are on trails these days. So that they are my backdrop now. So, yes, thank you for that wonderful introduction. Just a quick little bit more background on myself. I lead the advanced events team here at Microsoft, and I'm going to introduce the team. They're on the call, they're in the chat, they'll be answering questions, and any one of them actually could be presenting the content. They helped me develop this. The advanced events team helps customers create television broadcast quality events. And with that as our mission, we've been so excited about the features in Teams Premium because it gives us the opportunity to work with customers and do more with meetings. So that's one of the reasons why, from even in early development, we've been working closely with the Teams product group on the features that land, in the premium bundle. And, from, even when it was in public preview, we were helping customers, do more with Teams Premium. So I'm really excited about this session. I think last count, I'm going to try and do 6 live demos, 6 videos, and a lot of additional content. So my goal is to make this very informative, thought-provoking. I want people to be thinking about use cases and, how, with some of the examples that we share, this could, make your meetings, even better. And lastly, comprehensive. There's a lot in Teams Premium, and I have a lot of content. And my goal really is to get through all of it. So when you leave today, you have a complete understanding of all the features within Teams Premium, and at least one or two use cases for each of those features. So with that, I'm just going to ask you again. You heard from Sarah that we're going to hold off questions till the end. We'll allow you to unmute, but you have that reaction opportunity, on the top of your toolbar. That helps me understand that I'm, reaching you, and it helps me stay connected. So please pound that reaction, button, when you see something you like, when you see something you're surprised about in a good way or bad way, hit that surprised. It helps me stay engaged and connected to the audience in this type of meeting. So with that, like I said, I want to, introduce the advanced events team really quick. It's a small army now. It's, still an extremely popular topic. I'm part of Modern Work Customer Success here at Microsoft. So we provide support through your unified support contracts if you have one. And like I said, we help take your team's events to the next level. But Andrea, Cam, Lindley, Long, Mark, Nikki, Rodrigo, Sylvia, several of them are in chat, and all of them are currently creating content around Teams Premium. So they're all subject matter experts. And like Sarah said, we also have several people from the product group that are on this call. So you have an army of SMEs available to answer your questions in chat. I'm probably not even going to look at chat to keep me on target because they'll probably answer the questions better than me. So with that, I'm going to dive into content, and but I want to start really with a question to you. Why are you here today? I mean, other than the obvious, to learn more about Teams Premium. My guess is you have an interest in Teams Premium because the age-old questions, do we spend too much time in meetings? What's the risk of information leak when everybody's virtual, everybody's working from home? The other thing, especially the advanced events team hears all the time, is meetings aren't one size fit all. We want our board meeting to look one way. We want an all hands to look this way. And again, it's Teams Premium gives you that ability to really kind of make a unique experience out of meetings. And then the last one is, and we see this all the time, is the cost of tools to kind of address the above three adds up over time, because there's not one solution that fits all needs. You're grabbing a tool here, you're grabbing a tool here. So let's so I'm assuming that, like I said, you're here to learn about Teams Premium, but you're really motivated by one of these factors. So let's align how Teams Premium can address each one of these challenges that we all face. Too much time spent in a meeting. I'm going to start off my live demo and a lot of my content in intelligent productivity. I know, and it's already revolutionizing the way I do work. I have access to meeting recap, through Teams Premium today, and the ability for me to go back through my meetings, find valuable information, find points when I was called out, just makes it so much more efficient with my days done in back-to-back meetings when I'm trying to go back and find a specific commitment I made or commitment someone made to me. Again, I mentioned the next bullet point. The risk of leaked information is never more prevalent. People working from home, IT organizations can't control the environment in those situations. So Teams Premium gives you this pillar we're calling advanced protection. And when you see me demo this, you'll be like, wow, these are very simple solutions, but they really target and will improve the ability to control the content of meetings in the right place. And again, richer engagements and another big pillar. I'm going to spend a lot of time on that. It's probably the most features available on that. So stay tuned. Let me dive into that. And again, like I said, the cost of multiple tools, when you see the comprehensive tool set within Teams Premium, you may realize that, hey, I can do away with this extra tool. I can get away. I don't need this anymore. And I can consolidate my meeting workflow into one tool. So like I said, I have a couple of videos. Give me a chance to catch my breath, and also just great introduction slides. So let me just kick this off with a quick 1-minute video introducing Teams Premium.
With so many virtual meetings on your schedule, what if you had a better way to meet? Introducing Microsoft Teams Premium. Built on the familiar Teams experience, it helps you make every meeting more personalized, intelligent, and protected. Quickly discover the meeting insights that matter most to you, even if you miss the meeting. Get the right online meeting setup as easily as picking the right meeting spot. Elevate webinar experiences for any audience, whether you're creating new connections or generating leads. Make virtual appointments with customers as easy and personalized as if you were together in person. And collaborate with confidence, knowing that confidential information is protected with additional controls like watermarking. Don't just meet better with Microsoft Teams Premium.
Okay, so I hope that was a good introduction video. I'm coming back to, this alignment to these challenges, but I want to transition to, really how we're organizing and we're creating the pillars around Teams Premium. And it's really around these 3 pillars, which is intelligent productivity, advanced protection, and richer engagement. I struggled with whether I wanted to include the next slide in the deck, but I decided after much thought it was incredibly important to have this early on in the discussion. This is, the list of features, and probably isn't even exhaustive at this point, but these are the features that have been announced as part of Teams Premium. One of the SMEs in the chat can indicate, if some of these are coming soon, potentially. The good news is I'm going to be able to share every single one of these. But you can see here, again, did I mention that richer engagement was going to have its fair share of content? But you can see, under each of these, there are multiple, under each of these pillars, there are multiple, features that help, bring this to life. And, the exciting part about all of these features, almost every single one of them, when you have a Teams Premium license, added to your account, most of these are just enabled through meeting options when you schedule a regular Teams meeting. So it's really easy to access and enable. One other fun fact is I don't work in sales. So now our sales organization, if they're on the call, is going to get nervous because I'm going to talk about licensing real quick. Teams Premium standard list price is $10 a month per user. I think there's a promotion where, for the first year, it's $7. The thing I want to highlight is each one of these features has a different licensing model. Sometimes it's just the meeting organizer that has to have Teams Premium. Other items like in the intelligent productivity where, the end user will need the Teams Premium license to get full benefit of it. So there is a strategy, and I've worked with customers that have said, hey, I'm going to start with 1,000 Teams Premium. I'm going to deploy this to groups that need live translations, that need this particular feature. And then over time, we're going to, grow our, licensing around Teams Premium. I have other customers that said, you know what, we're going to go all in. We're most excited about that intelligent productivity. We want everybody to be able to advance that. And again, you can do a, organization-wide, licensing. So again, just quickly look at this page, remember it. I may refer back to it. I'm actually going to try and follow this structure and get through all of this content. I can see I'm already a few minutes behind schedule, so I'm going to keep moving on and move into intelligent productivity. And like I said, to me, this is, you've heard about, all the news about, AI and chat GTP. And I have to admit, my son was the one, and I'm fairly technical. So I'm the one of the rare dads that introduced his kids to Xbox when I first joined Microsoft. So I was one of the cool dads, but he was the one that actually introduced me to ChatGTP. And I started to experiment, and I'm just like, wow, this is going to be amazing. But now watching this being integrated into our products is it really will change the way we do work. So I want to jump in and just kind of show you. I have to do a screenshot on this. I was going to show this in a live demo, but this was actually a meeting with a customer, and I blocked their names to protect the innocent. And again, anybody worried that I can't talk for 90 minutes straight, take a look at that speaker section, and you'll know that just with a few breaths of air, I'll get through and chew up all 90 minutes of the session. But in my defense, just so you know, this was a training session, so I think I was supposed to speak that much. But you can see my peer, Mark Goodnow, who's on the advanced events team. I probably should have given him the opportunity to speak up a little more. He has incredible value to add to these training sessions. And again, going back and getting this type of analysis out of a meeting, one, is going to help me, facilitate better meetings. Again, let's say I want to go back and find that tidbit of value that Mark, added to the meeting. It's going to be pretty easy. I can see the light blue areas where, he spoke up and I gave him the opportunity. Again, I realized I need to be a better manager. Again, take a look at the topics. Blown away by the accuracy and the ability to go back and say, hey, I want to go find when Jim was talking about setting up vMix. Again, it may have been a little bit of a misspelling, but I can see that spot dead in the middle of that topic section. And I can go advance the screen to this. Now, I'm going to play a quick game and are you smarter than ChatGTP? So one of the neat things about Meeting Recap is AI notes. So let's just take a guess what you think, Intelligent Productivity and Meeting Recap thought of this meeting and some of the notes. And if you guessed it correctly, Jim talked a lot. So when you take a look at this, you can see Jim talked. So it kind of knew that I had taken over this meeting. The amazing thing here is, oftentimes I don't know what I'm talking about. But when you take a look at these 4 bullet points, I could not have recapped my individually sat down and said, hey, this is what I was going to talk about during these sections better than ChatGTP did, or Meeting Recap or GTP in the Teams Premium feature. So incredibly powerful. And again, if I want to go back and provide a recap to the customer of this training session, and I hope that customer is actually in the call. They can give me a thumbs up if they are. It just is going to allow me to focus on the true value that I add to these meetings and spend less time, post meeting. So with that, let me do a quick video, and then I'm going to transition to a I'm going to build up in complexity. I'm going to start with a simple live demo to the most complex.
Do you need to catch up on a meeting you missed or review the key points from when you attended? Intelligent Recap in Teams Premium leverages AI to deliver personalized highlights that help you discover information that matters to you most. Intelligent Recap in Teams will be available after the meeting and provides all your meeting artifacts in one place. You can access it from the calendar view on the new Recap tab. First, you'll notice that you can watch the meeting recorded directly from the Recap page. You can also choose to watch the recording in Microsoft Stream. To help you navigate the meeting recording more efficiently, personalized timeline markers that only you can see display markers within the video when you joined or left the meeting, when your name was mentioned, and when your screen was shared. You can also see moments when your name was mentioned on the Add Mentions tab on the right side. Below the video, you will find additional tabs that help you jump to different points in the video recording. The first tab is the Speakers tab, which shows you speaker timeline markers for who spoke during the meeting, when they spoke, and allows you to jump to that moment. Speaker timeline markers are intelligently organized by who you work most closely with, so you never miss feedback shared from your manager in a meeting again. The Topics tab identified keywords and topics from the meeting and the timestamps where they were discussed. The Chapters tab divides the meeting into sections, so you can skim the key content and pick and watch sections that you're most interested in. On the Recap page, you can also find the shared content from the meeting. Below the shared content, you will find more highlights from the meeting, including loop notes. The Notes tab will have any manual notes that were captured in loop. On the AI Notes tab, you'll see key points and takeaways after the meeting with AI-generated notes automatically created and powered by GPT. Below suggested notes, you'll find suggested tasks. Follow-up is easy with AI-generated tasks and action items automatically suggested for you. Lastly, you can use the transcripts and the chat tabs to access the meeting transcript and the meeting contents.
Okay, so great introduction and overview. Now I want to show you a live demo, just how easy some of these features is. One of the things I'm going to start off with just is one of the most simple and valuable elements of intelligent productivity, which is live translated captions. So with that, I am going to swap back to this meeting. So you're now seeing this meeting as it's taking place. And intelligent live translated captions is a great feature, especially with customers that are facing the requirement for providing language translation and other from legal requirements. So just simply, I'm going to go into language and speech. I'm going to turn on live captions, and again, without Teams Premium, you get captions, you get English translations. With Teams Premium, you click on Settings, and you get this option to select the spoken language, and you can select the language that you would like this translated into. And I'm going to select Spanish because I took Spanish in college, and it's the closest second language that I understand. But you can see as quickly as I did that, my captions on my machine is being captioned in Spanish. So, and again, if I want to, switch it to a different, other neat thing is Teams Premium comes with, I believe at this point, 40 different languages that you can choose from. So unlike Teams Live Event, where you have to select it ahead of time, it is automatically available. So I'm going to turn that off to keep the distractions at a minimum. Now, I'm going to share with you just how easy it is to jump into meeting recap. And I'm going to pick on a peer of mine, Cam Lemaire, who actually helped me with some of this content. And we had a meeting last week where he was training me on how to get through some of those demos. I'm going to click on that meeting, and I'm going to go into meeting recap. And again, I was being trained, so you can see in the speaker section, Cam did most of the speaking. I had a couple questions, at the end where he answered. I can click on the topics, and you could see he went through customization policies, he went through meeting templates, and then editing them. So I can go, to any one of those sections. I can read the suggested notes. And again, it was that easy for me to go access this information. And I can copy all, I can post that, suggested tasks. Cam, actually did follow through on this action item. So incredibly powerful. Like I said, I'm now relying on this, significantly. I've actually, recommended to my team, let's make sure we record all the meetings, because this is just going to be too valuable for us, not to be able to go back to. So I do recognize I'm a couple minutes behind. So I'm going to continue to plow ahead. You're going to probably hear me say that, several times, because I want to get through all this content, because there is a significant amount in Teams Premium. With this, I'm going to ask Mark Goodnow to go transition into one of my live demo meetings that I have set up. but I'm going to switch to the next pillar, which is advanced protection. And again, like I said, to me, this was, even I misunderstood this when I was first reading the pre-launch materials in terms of, oh, cool, watermark, I can put a logo, and a couple other things, and I got it all wrong. But once I was, educated or informed about, these features, I'm like, oh, wow, this is just a really simple solution to a very challenging issue facing customers today. So with that, like I said, I'm just going to dive into some live demos here. I'm going to go through end-to-end encryption, watermarks, and who can record, which are three of the core advanced protection features. Now, when I'm doing these demos, I'm actually going to be switching between two computers. These computers are off to my left-hand side, so unfortunately, you get a lot of my side profile. I have two computers set up. I have a meeting organizer and I have attendee, and I also have Mark Goodnow, who is joining these meetings. And I'm going to be able to switch between, those two computers. And I can see my one computer has gone to sleep, so I'm going to bring that back to life. And with that, so I'm just giving you a grounding. Right now, I'm sharing a separate computer that is set up on a demo tenant that has a Teams Premium license. I've set up 5 meetings. These are 5 of the 6 live demos that I'm going to do. Basically, except for the last one, I basically just created it and sent the meeting invite. I haven't done anything with these meetings. So I'm going to go into the first one, which is end-to-end encryption and watermarking. I'm going to go into meeting options. And like I said, this is where you'll be able to access, I'm just making up a number, but 90% of the Teams Premium features. You just go into meeting options, and if you have a Teams Premium license, these options are available to you. So again, I'm going to set this up and say, apply watermark, apply, and you have the option to apply watermark to shared content and to video feeds. So I'm going to select both, and I'm going to hit save, and that's all I have to do to enable, and by the way, we also want to make this end-to-end encryption. So this is actually a kind of a couple. So I'm going to go up here and select end-to-end encryption. I'm going to come back down here and hit save again because I forgot to enable it in the first time. So I've now enabled those 3 protection features into this meeting. I can exit meeting options, and I'm now going to join this meeting. And by the way, custom branding, we'll get to it. I apologize. It's painful on my eyes as well. So joining this meeting, I'm going to admit Mark Goodnow to the meeting. And Mark is there. And Mark, you had joined this meeting before I had saved the meeting options. So unfortunately, I'm going to have you leave this meeting, and we're going to have to rejoin it. Again, the issue with live demos is sometimes they don't go exactly as planned. But a good lesson here, set those options before anybody has the opportunity to join the meeting. I'm going to go back into the meeting options for this meeting and scroll down and confirm that those 3 options are enabled. I'm going to rejoin this meeting, and we should get a message saying, and he came back into the lobby. Okay, Mark, unfortunately, we're not resetting this meeting. So I'm going to move on to my next demo. Let's leave this meeting, don't rejoin, and we'll go from there. So apologize for that. Again, I just need that meeting to reset with those options. So I'm going to switch to my next meeting, which is setting up who can record. I'm going to go into meeting options. By the way, I couldn't do this with the other meeting because as soon as you set up end-to-end encryption, it disables the ability to record that meeting. So a lot of people ask me, hey, I thought Teams was secure. That's one of the big selling points. Teams is secure. End-to-end encryption gives you an extra layer of security. It gives you the visible, encryption key that you can confirm that, hey, this meeting is truly, you can't record it. You can eliminate the ability to copy from chat. So you can just put an extra layer of security and protection on that. So again, I'm showing this who can record, again, a Teams premium feature. I'm going to just say organizers and co-organizers. Again, you don't have to do that on end-to-end encryption because you can't record one of those. And I'm going to close this meeting. I'm going to join this actually on both of my accounts. So I can show you the different experience that we have for the different types of attendees. And with that, I'm going to admit Mark to the meeting. And you can also see that Jim Demo has joined this meeting. So over here, I can easily record. And if I let's see. I'm going to go to people and I am going to demote Jim Demo to an attendee. Okay, and again, I basically set a rule around that. So Jim is an attendee now, and okay, now like I said, I'm going to switch to switch screen sharing and show you. This is the Jim Demo account. So when Jim Demo, who is now an attendee, comes over here and clicks, I don't have the option to record. I'm going to go back to the Jim Producer account. And when I click on the ability to record, I can click Start Recording, and this meeting will record. So why is this a valuable tool? Well, again, with, Stream, and wanting to store important meetings, basically when somebody starts to record, it ends up being shared to their OneDrive. So you may only want to have the meeting recording access to meetings and organizers. So this feature gives you that ability. So with that, I'm going to leave this meeting. I keep my fingers crossed that that other meeting has reset. And I'm going to go back to that end-to-end encryption meeting. I'm going to join this. And good news is the meeting reset. So I'm immediately greeted with a message that says meeting is end-to-end encrypted. So that is a good start. I'm going to admit Mark Goodnow and maximize the window here. And you can see there was actually a quick message that said watermarks had been applied. Now, here's the beauty of this feature. You can see the Jim Producer at jcg.us, which is my demo account, is watermarked across Mark's video. It's not across my video. They're not so worried about you taking a picture and sharing it. How does this technology work? Well, how likely or how much people are going to think, let's say they take a picture with their camera, which I admit I've done time to time when I want to capture, like something that's being shared and be able to come back to it. But let's say that's a confidential meeting where you don't want that information to leave that meeting. By enabling the watermarks, and then let's say somebody takes that picture and shares it on social media, you'll know who took the picture, and you can go back and follow up and say, hey, I need you to take that video down. That was not intended. So again, what a simple solution for really, protecting the information in the meeting. Again, I mentioned that end-to-end encryption, that visible, hey, this meeting, is protected and secure. You can click on that and you can actually get that encryption key associated with that meeting. So again, apologize for the snafu on the first attempt at this. I did want to set up the options as part of my live demo, so I didn't give Mark the heads up that wait a few moments before joining the meeting. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to switch back to our regularly scheduled content and share a quick overview on protected meetings.
Help keep confidential meetings confidential with advanced meeting protection. Microsoft 365 E5 customers can leverage existing sensitivity labels to automatically apply relevant meeting options. Select one of the familiar sensitivity labels and let automation take over. A new watermark meeting option can show on content and video feeds, helping deter leaks. And during the meeting, internal participants can easily see the level of protection the meeting has.
Okay, great. And like I said, I'm going to continue to plow through content because I think I'm about 6 or 8 minutes behind schedule. So that kind of wraps up advanced protection. So hopefully you have a much better appreciation. Should also highlight that like sensitivity labels, I don't have those enabled. I don't have that classification set up on my demo tenant, so I wasn't able to demo that. But that's another fantastic feature of advanced protection where, you know, just again, when you're dealing with lots of meetings, being able to preserve that sensitivity so that you go back and say, hey, you know, is this, you know, how does this meeting recording, you know, have to take place? Okay, jumping forward into richer engagements. I'm grouping this into 3 sub-pillars: personalized meetings, virtual appointments, and advanced webinars. I'm actually going to abbreviate. I'm going to try and catch up on personalized meetings. A lot of cool stuff in this, and a lot of it is focused at doing work quicker and smarter, really targeted it towards making Teams admins, you know, jobs more efficient and, you know, being able to create very specific use cases. But let's dive in, and you know, the personalized meeting is broken up into, you know, several subcategories. And let me just go back one slide. You know, meeting templates. So, you know, how great is it if you could, you know, let's say you're in HR and you say, hey, I want the same set of meeting options for every interview. I want it to record automatically. I want, you know, attendees to be able to turn on their camera, turn on their video, obviously to interact. You know, you know, and, you know, you can go talk to your Teams admin and say, hey, let's create a meeting template called interview. Now, and that can be done through Teams Premium, through meeting templates. The other neat thing is customer user policy packages, the last bullet point, because when you combine these, you can then just say, hey, this meeting template, let's make sure everyone in HR, you know, has this template, and you can set up those things. Branded meetings, you saw kind of a quick preview on that. And I'm going to dive into that more. So I'm actually going to skip a video and really just kind of, you know, dive into this content. Like I said, I kind of gave you the overview of meeting templates, and you know, you have the ability to create these very specific use case. Let's say you want to create a, you know, a board meeting, and you want certain options where you want that, you want that end-to-end encryption in that type of meeting. You can, you know, basically set that in the meeting templates. Talking, like I said, branded meetings, another really popular. I love the fact when I join, you know, an external call and I see that the customer is using and taking advantage of branded meetings. I'm going to do a live demo of branded meetings, but I'm not a graphic artist, so I'm going to share with you what a graphic artist could do with branded meetings. And of course, you can now compare this to the quality of me pulling it together. My highlight, my demo is just going to show how, you know, if you have the right resources, you can do some great work. Again, this slide basically showing you that color scheme that you've chosen for your branded, you know, join experience cascades throughout the meeting, and it cascades all the way to the mobile experience. Now, switching to, again, branded experience. org-defined backgrounds. Now, we've probably all played around with a lot of the default backgrounds that you have that you can put behind you in a virtual meeting. Org-defined backgrounds allows a Teams admin the ability to upload company-specific and make them available to specific users. So again, if you're working in an industry where your brand is incredibly valuable and you don't want your end users kind of creating and, using, potentially the wrong font or the wrong color, you can create those, you can upload, and you can say, hey, these are available. I actually am going to encourage the customer hub team. Again, I'm not using the branded background, but you could upload that customer hub background that everybody else at Microsoft in this meeting is using. And making that available so that you're guaranteed that everybody, has access. You don't have to worry about distributing, the background beforehand and making sure people upload it. So, very useful, especially in that kind of brand value type environment. The next, branded or, customized look and feel is Together mode. And again, I don't, we use Together mode, and I've used custom Together mode for like graduations. Together mode is that view where, we take everybody's camera and we bring them into, a virtual backdrop, like we're sitting in a theater together. The neat thing with Teams Premium is you can now create custom Together mode scenes. Like I said, we use that for a graduation from an event internally at Microsoft where we wanted the keynote, where the keynote speaker to be in the center of the stage, like you would expect in a graduation ceremony. So again, the use case on this document talks about, hey, you can recreate specific conference rooms, specific locations, from your work environments. There's a customer that has that I work with in New York that has a great view of the New York skyline. How cool it would be to create that custom background and allow, people to experience like they were sitting in that meeting. So again, moving forward, custom user policy packages. And, again, this goes back, I probably only get the Teams admins excited here, but for the non-admins, when your Teams admins say, hey, it's too difficult to deploy those policies, to, different groups, you could say, hey, I thought I heard in Teams Premium that you could create a customer user policy package. And, lo and behold, with a little bit of research, they can land on this. But why is this so powerful? Like I said, you could create a policy packages for HR, for IT, and ensure that everyone in that organization, has the same policies. It's great for onboarding. So, you don't have to go in and say, oh, hey, what does this new hire, what access do they need? And the next slide, I'm just going to share with you. I mean, these are all the different policies, that can be, so you got messaging policy, meeting, calling, live events. So you may only want, certain teams, the comms team to be able to schedule live events. So again, create a customer user policy packages for comms team, give them, that. So, again, I'm trying to save some time here, but extremely powerful because all of those different policies are in your Teams admin center, and Teams Premium gives you the ability to kind of create like these packages that can be applied to, certain individuals. I am going to do a little live demo on this. I'm kind of catching up on time. So with that, like I said, I'm going to swap out to my separate computer. So bringing that up on screen, and I'm going to go into the Teams Admin Center. And again, I said, I warned you ahead of time, this is where Teams admins get excited because this is really kind of that behind the scenes, the ability to create, I'm going to join with my Jim producer, these experiences. So again, if you're not familiar with this, I'm in the Microsoft 365. Admin Center, I'm going to swap over to the Teams Admin Center from this page, and I'm going to go into meeting policies. And I'm sharing this, like I said, because now you can go back and say to your Teams admin, hey, I know you can do this. So I'm going to go into meetings. I'm going to go into customization policies. And let's just jump into branding. So I've previously created this Microsoft branding policy. You can see it's listed under here as premium. And I have a meeting theme, so I'm going to hit preview. And for you that saw that kind of, eyesore of a lobby, you can see that I designed that, right here in the admin center. So, I created that branding. I have the ability to, if I go here and I go edit, I can change the logo, I can change the background, I can change the color. And again, when you saw that static images of what I shared could be done with a graphic artist, you can really create a very beautiful, and anything that I like to say is it no longer is a Microsoft Teams meeting, it's the customer's meeting, because it's your branding, it's your logo, and vice versa. So with that, I'm going to go into another section on, like I said, meeting templates. And again, those meeting templates, remember, that's that, when you click on that new meeting, if you click on the drop down, these meeting templates will be options. So you can see here that there's a default and then 3 custom meeting templates. So I previously created this compliant meeting. I'm going to hit edit here. And I'm just going to quickly go through this, but it's very powerful. You get the different options that you can configure for this specific meeting. And again, just think about this as, presetting meeting options, for a specific type of meeting. The neat thing is you can make these, you can make the meeting option visible or hidden so that, hey, anybody setting up that interview type meeting, they don't even know that they can disable that. And you can also choose whether or not you want it locked or unlocked. So what does that mean? So let's say, this is a compliant meeting. You want this to be end-to-end encryption. You can then make that hidden, meaning, when somebody schedules a compliant meeting, that meeting option no longer exists for them to change. Again, you can make it visible and locked, basically just giving people the visual that, hey, this meeting option, you can't change, it's grayed out, but that it has been enabled. Or you can, let me use the right mouse on the right screen. An example here, like watermarking, you can say that's going to be default off, it's going to be visible, and it's going to be unlocked. So again, since this is a compliant meeting, I probably would go back in here and say, let's make the default on this on for both watermarking. But I'm okay if the meeting organizer wants to unlock it and disable it. So I'll leave it as visible unlocked. I'll hit save, and and that eventually will replicate through. Again, when I come over here and I schedule a meeting, you can see right here, custom templates. You can see right here where, and again, just to quickly go through that again, up at the meeting option, go to the drop down to custom templates, and you could see that, I have those 3 custom templates. The other neat thing is, again, using the custom policy packages, you can actually give access to these custom policies to certain groups within your organization. This Gym Producer account actually has access to all of them, so I can schedule that compliant meeting. Again, I'm not going to go through this, but you get the idea that those default meeting options will be configured exactly how you want. And like I said, the powerful part is, let's say you don't want, an end user to be able to disable end-to-end encryption in a board meeting. You can hide it. You can lock it. So with that, like I said, I'm working on trying to to make up some time here. So I'm going to cut this live demo a little bit short. I'm sure you get the idea in terms of org-defined backgrounds. It's just the ability of your team's admin to upload those and make them available. So with that, I'm going to move to another, like I said, richer engagement has, you know, a wealth of features. This one I'm just going to talk to very briefly, but this is a really nice bonus. For every Teams Premium license that you acquire for your organization, you also acquire a Microsoft ECDN license. The reason I say it's a bonus is Microsoft ECDN is a standalone SKU as well. I've worked with a very large customer that has a global town hall of 45,000. And in their last town hall, they enabled Microsoft ECDN, and they actually achieved that use case where they saw a 90% reduction. So they saw a 90% efficiency in terms of the peer-to-peer. Again, very flexible in terms of our licensing. You can acquire Microsoft ECDN as part of Teams Premium. You can also increment with standalone license depending on your deployment strategy. But for heavy live event users, it's a fantastic solution that basically reduces the bandwidth requirement out of your facilities. So if you have an organization that's moving back to the office, again, that was where this 45,000 global town hall was like, hey, if everybody tunes in and everybody's hitting 1.5 megabits per second watching this live event and we don't have an ECDN, our mission critical voice over IP systems may be in jeopardy of the traffic that's being generated through these global town halls, which are critical to our business, but we need to find a solution that's going to allow those events to live in harmony with the rest of our environment. So anyway, again, just kind of dropping this into the richer engagement related to live events and things like that. I think it's just, again, demonstration of the value that the product team is trying to put in Teams Premium, the fact that they're also including a Microsoft ECDN license, with every Teams Premium, license. So with that, advanced virtual appointments is again a sub-pillar of richer engagements. And I have a video I'm going to play on this, which is great because I need to catch my breath. But I'm gonna skip ahead to the money slide. And the money slide here is, I get asked, well, hey, like Teams is just a virtual appointment system anyway. What do you get with Teams Premium and virtual appointments? So, this is the slide that I wanted to share that said, yeah, you can go schedule meetings, but if you add Teams Premium, you get the SMS notification, you get the custom meeting room with branding, two-way lobby chat, post-appointment follow-up, on-demand queue, there's like a whole scheduling tool. So again, I just wanted to kind of lead with this. I changed my mind. I was going to play this after the video, but I just want you, as you watch this video and you think about the use cases on virtual appointments, keep this in the back of mind. These are the premium features or the features that you get on top when you add a Teams Premium license.
And money, reach new customers, and provide them with improved experiences. Connecting virtually with your customers, clients, and people you serve started as a necessity. Now it's an opportunity to engage in new ways that seamlessly integrate the virtual and in-person experience. Welcome to Virtual Appointments for Microsoft Teams. Virtual appointments can help save your organization time and money, reach new customers, and provide them with improved experiences. Until now, many have had to piece together a virtual appointment solution using disjointed tools that may not be optimized for their industry. Virtual appointments are specifically designed to enhance interactions with your customers, all in one unified place in Teams. It starts with an industry-leading customer communication platform, featuring screen sharing, support for multiple guests, and high-quality video and chat. But that's just the beginning. There's scheduling, appointment reminders, forms collection, queuing, waiting rooms, mobile experiences, analytics, and more. Virtual appointments can help you provide a seamless customer experience designed for our evolving hybrid world. It's an end-to-end solution for areas like healthcare, for secure appointments between patients and providers, retailers to provide new ways for customers to explore products and make informed purchases, financial services organizations offering transformative ways to bring value to their clients, and any organization that wants to interact in a convenient and effective way with the people they serve. Virtual appointments is your end-to-end experience for virtual engagement. Plus, there's more exciting features on the way. Virtual appointments for Microsoft Teams. Learn more today.
All right, perfect. And I have this slide up because, to me, when I first heard about virtual appointments, I'm like, oh, healthcare, financial services, I get it, very specific to these industries. But since then, I've met with retail and actually 2 customers that have like stylists, and they realize that they will continue to be able to grow their business, being able to reach more and more customers, being able to provide that hands-on experience. So, I'm now seeing use cases in retail, sales, how great, again, I recently replaced the windows in my house, being able to schedule an appointment with, the person that developed the proposal, HR, again, perfect for that interview scenario. And on this list, it says, and many more. I'm actually going to challenge my team because we do a lot of tech consulting calls with customers on our team. What I'm thinking is, how fantastic would it be for us to set up, a virtual appointment where a customer can go back and say, hey, I want a session on advanced event production. I want to meet with the advanced event team, be able to pull our schedule, be able to schedule, and for us to be able to host these sessions directly with customers. So again, virtual appointments, it's far exceeding the use case that I originally envisioned when I saw all the pre-launch material. So with that, I'm now going to move into, like I said, kind of the fun part of the live demos, and that is advanced webinar. And by the way, all of you have been part of a live demo. This Customer Hub session, we leveraged the Teams Premium features of advanced webinar for this experience, for this webinar. So we had a wait list. We didn't get to the wait list, but we came close. I think we had the highest registration on a Customer Hub. Sarah, keep me honest on that one. But if we had exceeded capacity, it would have gone to a wait list. We did manual approval for registration, which is another Teams Premium feature of webinar. And I love that feature because Harume, who was managing the registrations, was basically going in and, hey, we had 5 people from Microsoft register, we had 20 customers register, and for me, I always tell customers, hey, let the important people in first, and hold off on approving internal people until you have the seats available for them. So that's another great feature of Teams Premium. We also put a start and end time for when you could register for this session, which is part of that Teams Premium feature. So again, I'm going to kind of skip the video on this because I think I have a pretty in-depth demo. So let's advance this. I'm going to share with you how to set up a webinar, how to leverage it, and my goal is to wrap up richer engagement, showing you green room, manage what attendees see, and if time permitting, RTMP in. So now, again, I'm going to swap over to that Jim producer account and just show you, and of course, the screen falling asleep as I switch over here. So I'll wait for that to come back to life, and it did. I'm going to come up here and click New Webinar. And I'm just going to run through this quickly in the interest of time. Demo webinar, I'm going to add a presenter. I'm going to add Mark Goodnow. And again, I'm on a demo tenant, so I will have to put in his full address. That should do it. All right. I've added him as a presenter. I'm actually going to take myself off as a presenter. I'm going to make this public, and I'm going to hit save and send invites. So this is basically going to create the event shell. I can then go into presenter bios and go in and add a bio that says, technical director. Hit save there. Theming, again, works exactly like the meeting branding. I'm just going to select a color so that when we go back to it, you can see that I actually picked that orange. So with that, I'm going to go into registration under configuration. And this is where the Teams Premium features sit. I'm going to say manual approval. I'm going to enable waitlist, and I'm going to set a registration specific time when registration will be open. So again, advanced webinar is available without a Teams Premium license. If you have a Teams Premium license, and again, just highlighting, just the meeting organizer has to have that license, you get these additional options. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit publish this site. I'm going to hit publish. I'm now going to copy this landing page and send it to my Jim Garland work account so that I can then share that in this meeting. It's open to public. Again, you probably already know how to do this because you were successfully registered for this meeting, but I'm just going to post this in this meeting chat, and feel free to go out and register. But before people do that, I'm actually going to come back here and I'm going to force the wait list to go into effect. So I'm going to go back to manage event. I'm going to reduce the capacity to 5 and click save. So this way we know that we'll hit waitlist. If you could open up and register on a separate browser, I would appreciate it. For this live demo, I'm going to come over to the attendee status, and I see a few people have taken me up on this. So, again, Sarah will probably have to edit this out of our recording, but here we go. I've approved. I see other people. I can approve. And that should take us to 5. We now have waitlist. So now I can go here quickly and I can see people that have, basically gone into the waitlist. I can go back to the configuration and say, you know what, those 4 people are really important. I'm going to increase this to 10. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go back here to the attendee status, and momentarily, now that I've increased this to 10, momentarily you can see, I now have 6 pending approval. So I'm able to drop those additional people into this. So you can see just, and again, I'm going to hide this, just to keep personal information separate. Just how powerful those additional Teams Premium features are. So one of the big concerns that customers reach out to me and says, hey, webinar is limited to 1,000 attendees. And that is true. And, product team is working on looking at whether or not it's possible to increase that, and no comment on, if or when we'll ever see that. But customers basically come to me and say, hey, I know that, I want 1,500 people to register because I know only 500 people are going to show up. Well, that's a neat thing where you can use that wait list. And I've worked with customers in a use case that says, hey, let's manually communicate to them and say, hey, a registration spot is available, and provide them with an email saying, we would like you to attend. Here's a link to join the meeting. So that it's just one trick in terms of how to get around the 1K registration limit. But again, I should highlight that saying you are playing with fire, because the meeting will limit at 1K. But as most of us know, only a certain percentage ever who register ever attend live. So again, Teams Premium gives you that kind of extra option. Okay, next thing that I want to demo is a very powerful feature, and that is Green Room and manage what attendees see. So I'm going to go into the meeting options on this, and basically enable. Well, one, I have to set someone who can present. So I'm going to say specific people. I'm going to add Mark Goodnow, who was previously invited, and now I can enable a green room. And I'm also going to enable manage what attendees see. So 2 features, both Teams Premium. I'm going to save that, let that meeting update before I join it. Green Room, if you've ever used Teams Live Event where it says Start Live Event, Green Room gives you the ability, it gives you the button that says Start the Meeting. So you can get all the presenters in the meeting ahead of time, make sure audio, video looks good, go over the game plan for the meeting, and then you have that button that says Start Meeting, and then all your attendees join. I will say this is complementary with Meeting Lobby. The way I describe this is, think of a movie theater. The lobby is where you turn in your tickets, and you come in, you sit down in the theater. The green room is the screen that gets up, that gets pulled up over the screen. So it's complementary in terms if it gets you 2 steps. And again, neat thing is you'll be able to create customization where you might say, hey, I don't need a lobby. I don't need a person to take tickets. I just want the green room, or vice versa, or whatever. So anyway, I've now created this meeting, and I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to join this meeting. And again, love that custom branding. Okay, and here you go. This is where you can see this meeting is a little bit different than your traditional Teams meeting. So I'm going to admit Mark here, and what you can see is that there's this off-screen area, and you can see that there's this red area. I'm actually going to join this meeting on my on the Gym demo account, so I can show you what the attendee experience looks like. So bear with me. So both Mark and I are presenters. So we were able to bypass the green room. Okay, and Gym demo is not. So I'm now going to switch screens and show you that this is my experience. Now the Gym demo account is on that same tenant as the Gym producer. So the Gym demo account bypassed the lobby and went right into green room. So didn't need to turn in a ticket. Mark was an external presenter and not on his Microsoft credentials, not on the demo credentials. So that's why you probably saw Mark landed in the lobby, but when I admitted him to the lobby, he immediately went to the core meeting. So with that, let me go back to the magic. And again, this is another meeting organizer type licensing where just the meeting organizer has to have the Teams Premium license to be able to take advantage of this. So here's the cool thing is I have this bring on screen. So I can bring Mark Goodnow on screen, and everything off screen is going to be not visible to the attendees. So again, you can see up there, it says start meeting, right? And I'm going to click that really soon. But first, I'm going to switch back over to that Gym demo account so that you see what happens, for the attendee experience. So again, Gym demo is sitting in that auditorium waiting for the meeting to start. I'm now going to click start meeting. And you can see that Gym demo is being brought in, and you can see that the experience that Gym demo is seeing is exclusively Mark Goodnow. So if we had 10 presenters, it would be, and by the way, I'm now going to bring myself, so you get another one of my side profiles. So I'm going to create a fireside chat between Mark and myself. And again, you can create a panel, extremely powerful. If Mark's finished speaking, I can take him off screen, and it will automatically, have myself as, the primary content. Bring it on screen. Hopefully Mark can hear me. Mark, if you could share content. Neat thing here is if Mark shares content into this meeting, we'll have both our videos alongside the content. So, I've heard that, hey, we want multiple presenters, we want multiple panels. This is your solution. It's, again, I've trained customers on how to use vMix and various other things to make this happen. But the powerful thing is that, with Teams Premium, we've integrated this kind of custom mosaic right into the tool. So you can see here, Mark Goodnow is now presenting. I'm going to take myself off screen from the producer side, and it's back to Mark. I'm going to wrap up the demo. I didn't get to RTMP in. By the way, I'm going back. You can see how, again, I moved off screen, and it's really just that quick bring on screen, bring off screen. I'm going to talk to RTMP in just really quickly, and then I'm going to go to a poll question and then Q&A. I know I didn't leave a lot of time for that, but RTMP is an industry-wide streaming platform or protocol. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, all use RTMP as, their streaming. You can stream from any kind of software encoder or hardware encoder. Teams Premium gives you the ability, to basically, I actually have this already set up. If I go to meeting options, and you scroll down, you can see here, I get this RTMP ingest information so that I can stream directly to this meeting. This, in combination with Manage What Attendees See, basically gives you the idea to do a fully customized Teams meeting where you're controlling all of it from like vMix or OBS or a TriCaster, so you can do that full production. Again, people that aren't gamers or aren't streamers probably are like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But just be aware that it allows you to take any of kind of the streaming platform or like StreamYard, and you can bring it into a Teams meeting. So you can keep that. And again, if you're using Manage What Attendees See, you can basically take that custom RTMP feed in and make that the only thing that attendees see. So again, the good news is I got through most of my live demos. Hopefully I've given you a comprehensive overview of the different features. So Harume, I'm going to transition into Q&A now. Again, so if people want to raise your hand, I'm going to try and take them in the order that I see the hand raised. But before that, we're going to launch a poll. And my question is going to be, or the question is, which of the following Teams Premium pillars do you find the most value for your organization? And again, in all fairness, I'm going to do, there's 3 primary pillars. Richer Engagement has 3 sub-pillars. So let's treat those as 3 individuals. So you should be seeing, 5 different choices. We're really interested to hear what's going to be a game changer for your organization. Where do you see the most impact. I love seeing the answers. Like I said, intelligent productivity, to me is going to be revolutionary in the terms of the way we work. I see a few potential future producers that are, putting, advanced webinar a very distant second. That makes me happy and sad. But okay, with that, let's dive into Q&A. And I wouldn't be surprised if our SMEs have answered most of the questions, but feel free to raise your hand and you'll be able to come off mute and ask a question. And if we don't get any questions, I'm going to actually work on that RTMP live demo. So I'm not seeing any questions, Sarah or Harume.
James,
So
there was,
there
yeah, this is
we
me. Yeah.
go.
So I'll just, there was a popular question, which is regarding capabilities for presenters of live events to also see the audience. Is that possible with Teams Premium, or do you know any other way to do that?
That is a great question. The answer today is reach out to your CSM or CSAM, and reach out to the advanced events team. It does take advanced production techniques today. I will tell you, though, that in the future, the product group is working on solutions that will address that. So today, we are able to do that. My team, and again, feel free to ask for me by name with your local. It'll be part of my call to action. We do have solutions where we've helped customers that are do like watch parties, and they want to bring the watch parties, and they want the presenters to be able to see that. It's called using a program feed, but also, sit tight, stay connected to this community, because there will be announcements, where we're continuing to enhance the whole Teams events, experience, including, the one that was asked, because we know that's very popular. And hopefully, and the one question that was more popular, hey, Teams live events, how do I get 4 people on screen? Hopefully today you saw that we're developing that technology in an advanced webinar. And by the way, it also works in Teams meeting if you have a Teams Premium license, the ability to create that panel discussion. That was previously the most popular question. So any other quick questions? Okay.
Hey, Jim, this is Mark. Yeah, there was an RTMP question. Is it high definition and low latency? Do you remember the latency estimates right now for RTMP in?
Yes, it's actually it's very good. It's comparable. It's an industry standard streaming. And I know like some of the streaming platforms have ultra low latency. We don't have that currently, but I just joined an RTMP in meeting. I'm actually going to go start streaming to this meeting, and let's see if I can actually okay, so again, I'm using vMix. You can see that's a custom RTMP feed in. It's actually coming in at 1080p, 30 frames per second. So it is coming in at a higher resolution. So with that, I'm actually going to switch sources. If you bear with me a second, I'm going off script. So I'm going to, okay. So this is the latency. I'm going to hold my hand up, take it down, and you can see that it's seconds. Hand up. I think I counted it that it took about 3 seconds for that art. And again, that's what I'm sharing into this meeting is a Teams meeting on a different computer, so everyone would experience that latency into that meeting. So again, some of the challenges that customers are seeing in live events where you have that ultra low latency. Also, stay connected with this community for future announcements. you can see that you can create this production and, literally continue to operate almost near real time, with that Teams meeting and the chat and everything else and the Q&A that you may have enabled. So, okay. More questions, and if not, I'm glad I got to this because there were apparently a question on RTMP. This is really cool. Again, if you're interested in RTMP and applications, perfect example of when you should reach out to your CSAM or your customer success manager and request an engagement with the Modern Work Advanced Events team. So let me close this. I don't see any other questions, so I am going to navigate to basically our call to action. And we have 3 of them. I'm going to cover the first 2, and then I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Martin. The first one is, go out and get a Teams Premium trial. Hopefully something I showed you today is going to motivate you that says, I need to get my hands on Teams Premium. Well, we have a trial program that's available. It's, can be enabled through the Teams Admin Center. These are the quick steps. This deck, other information will be available after this event. And I also am going to encourage you to download those 2 aka.ms links. One is the deployment guide, one is the user guide. The deployment guide is where we've taken a wealth of information. It's, I think, over 150 pages. It goes through use cases, it goes through admin requirements, it goes through organizer requirements, and it goes through attendee. So it's a extremely comprehensive document that I couldn't go through all the material in this amount of time. So sign up for your trial. Start assigning those licenses, start thinking about those use cases where you'll get most value out of Teams Premium. Work with your local Microsoft field team on questions, comments, help getting those trials set up. So next call to action. I've said this before, so I'm going to leave Martin a couple minutes and just say, my team is available. We are part of unified support. We do work on advanced complex event. Teams Premium is core to the work we do. We love the features that are in Teams Premium. We love the features that are coming in Teams Premium. So feel free to work with your customer success manager or your CSAM, and you can, Mark, go ahead and drop my alias in the chat. Ask for me by name, and we will engage, and we're happy to do an art of the possible or work with your specific use case. And again, I'm now going to hand over to Martin, who's going to speak to Microsoft Fast Track and an opportunity to work with them to get Teams Premium activated. So Martin, over to you.
Thank you so much. There we go. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it. What a fantastic conversation and demonstration. It's amazing to see what Teams Premium is capable of. My name is Martin, and I'm with the Microsoft Fast Track Center. And I would like to talk to you for just a brief moment about how you can actually get engaged. If you're with us and you're ready to get deployed, and you want to start using these features today, this week, this month, you have a resource that's available to you right now and for free. And I could briefly just want to talk a little bit about that. For those of you that are not familiar with the Microsoft Fast Track Center, we are an onboarding center that is there to help deploy essentially all M365 services, but specifically, we've aligned with the Customer Hub today to help kind of expedite the deployment of Teams Premium. We are there for all of those great conversations on best practices, getting this to pilot. You get those trial licenses that Jim pointed out, and come to Fast Track and sit with us, and we will work with a team of engineers that will help you get this to pilot. And essentially actually deploying this, whether it's to a pilot or to your organization. We're there to help, prepare the environment for Teams Premium, including all the meeting enablement, defining the protected meeting policies, walking through all the end-to-end encryption, defining the sensitivity labels, doing all the configuring for some of the advanced webinars, all of the fantastic things that Jim has mentioned today. Fast Track is there to help you over the shoulder to walk through to actually deploy this in your environment. And again, it is a totally free resource. It's available to you right now. Now, as long as it's within the scope of Fast Track, again, it's free. By scope, I mean some of the things that Fast Track does not do is unfortunately we don't do any sort of troubleshooting or post-deployment support. We're not really there for identifying use case scenarios, which Jim kind of mentioned. His team is available. They're perfect for identifying those use case scenarios or the content creation. That's best left to other hands. Fast Track is there for just the deployment aspect. So if that's something that you are ready for and you're ready to get engaged and start talking about how can we turn this on, we have an environment that's ready to do this. Well, we have worked out with the Customer Hub a quick and easy way to kind of avoid some of those hoops that a lot of our Fast Track clients go through. As you can see on screen, there is a link you can click, or if you pull out your mobile phones, there is a QR code, and it'll essentially open up a form. It asks just a couple of questions about you, some how can we contact you? Is there something specific of Teams Premium that you want to walk through? And we'll get engaged with you. We'll have the correct resources, get in touch, and walk you through with what is all capable of Fast Track. And maybe you are not in that kind of your environment's not prepared for Teams Premium. Maybe in the back of your mind is like, this sounds great, but there's still some things we need to do with Teams. There's some configuration issues, networking. Maybe we're still doing SharePoint. Maybe we need to do a file share migration. Fast Track has you covered there too. So anything that's getting prepared for Teams, all of the normal Teams features up to right at that precipice of Teams Premium, Fast Track has you covered. And again, it's a totally free resource. If there's any questions, if anybody has any questions about Fast Track or things like that, please, I'll be sticking around in the chat and feel free to ask away. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarah. Thanks.
Thanks, Martin. Fast Track's so cool. I love to be able to promote the Fast Track benefits. It's such an amazing benefit that folks typically already have access to. It's not something we're trying to sell or an add-on or would you like fries with that. It's already part of the licensing that folks have. So I love to talk about that. I'm glad you're able to join us today. All right, I'm going to wrap things up. I want to first just remind folks that we've got the Superheroes community available to you. So please consider joining us out there and get engaged, ask questions. You can hear about upcoming events and just stay connected with the community. This is also where today's PowerPoint will be posted. It's going to be posted under that files section out there. Today's recording will be posted to the YouTube channel, and the links you'll need to access all of these items are on the screen that you see here today. They are clickable, and my friend Harumi is also posting these same links out in the chat as well. So you can get them at either spot on in the context of today's meeting. I also want to highlight another Teams Premium session that we've got planned for tomorrow. My friend Kristen posted this a little bit earlier in the chat, but Harumi will post it here in the chat as well. It's scheduled for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, and this is an interactive session that's going to be hosted by some of our product folks. So I'd like to encourage you, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Teams Premium tomorrow, to join that crew. Again, it's going to be 7 to 8 a.m. tomorrow. You can register and join those folks out there tomorrow. I'm going to just close us out here today with a little bit of a feedback survey. We love your feedback. This is the only way we have to make these sessions better, improve. We want to hear good, bad, ugly, how you thought about this session and how we can make our sessions better in the future. So we would love to get a little bit of feedback from you on your experience today. Jim, I want to thank you for all the great information that you shared today about Teams Premium. There's just so much there, so much goodness. So thank you for sharing all your wisdom today. I also want to extend a thank you to our subject matter experts who are out in the background today, busily typing, getting everybody's questions answered, we hope. And then finally, I just want to extend a very hearty thank you to everybody who joined us today. We know that 90 minutes is a huge amount of time to dedicate during your day. So I just think it's important that we take a moment to acknowledge that all of you took that time, and we want to just tell you how much we appreciate you slicing this time out of your day to learn more about the Teams Premium offering. So thank you very much for doing that. We hope you learned a lot today. I know that I personally did. So Jim, thank you for your time and your wisdom. So that's it, folks. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your day and hope you take care. Thanks, everyone. Take care.